to the Slow News Week podcast, where we cover all the big stories that the mainstream media is too cowardly to delve into at a level where the common folk can really appreciate the severity and heightened importance. With me today is Simon James, and I am not this tall. My chair is just simply elevated.
Actually, I was going to sit on a pillow, but then I realised that people would think that you're a lot taller than you are, or a lot shorter than you actually are. I was going to actually not speak during the intro because I was listening back to the last one because I listened back.
Yeah, you were god awful.
And I was like, thank you. Oh, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. It was just at the start, I was just like, Simon, shut up.
Is that what you're doing right now?
I tried not to, but that was your fault.
Well, speaking of not being able to keep your mouth shut, I'd like to open up the first story this week with a light-hearted one about school. As you know, school is going back fairly soon, and we love those going back to school commercials, but not a lot of time do we get back to school news reports. So I'd like to start off with, this comes from news.com.au. Married teacher, 35, denies sexually assaulting student, claiming she's too short for sex position. A married teacher accused of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old boy has claimed she's tiny, making the logistics of their alleged sex impossible. Let's preface this with saying sexual assault is awful. Everyone knows that.
But
when you have a good reason, like you are too small to sexually assault someone, I mean, as you know, whenever somebody does go to have sex with me, I have a tape measure to say this is the height requirement.
It's literally just behind the camera.
Yeah.
Literally in his room.
It's not much taller than what I am.
It's like lining up at Luna Park for a ride.
My restriction is about 6 foot. I won't sleep with anyone under that. A married teacher has denied sexually assaulting a student in a field, telling a court that at 152 centimetres, she was too short for it to be physically possible.
In a field?
Her name is Candice Barber. She's from the UK. She's accused of straddling the 15-year-old in her four-wheel drive, having sex in a field and performing a sex act on him in Woodland.
Candice, what is it?
Candice Barber.
It sounds like one of those names or a fake name somebody who works at Hooters would have.
Candice Barber?
Yeah.
Well, there's absolutely nothing fake about this.
How tall is she?
She's 152 centimetres, which is exactly 5 feet.
I see. Okay.
So have you ever heard of that before? Somebody saying we couldn't have possibly had sex.
Look, I've never. The logic is foolproof. I will say that.
Logistically, a nightmare.
Well, I was thinking to myself. I was like, I really like tall women, very tall women.
Okay.
And everybody's like, oh, that's a bit weird, Someone you're people who are shorter than you feel emasculated. But now I know, if they're taller than me, off the books, they're technically, 20 years older than me based off height. So if that's how we're calculating things, I'm just going to send the women off to the side. The ones who are above 6 foot, of course.
Is there something you want to talk about for a long while now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Furthermore, she told them, you told the police that you were stood, this is them talking to the now 18-year-old victim. You told the police that you were stood behind her, you had pulled your clothes down. You accept she is quite tiny, only about 5 feet, isn't she? So you were taller than her at the time, weren't you? You did not even think she could reach your shoulders at the time, would she?
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. What is she? Do you think she genuinely believes it? I wonder if she genuinely believes what she's saying, or she's like, oh, it doesn't matter, she's sort of sitting it on it now. She's like, oh, I could get out of this.
I think what's happened is she's gone to her lawyer and she said, what can we do to get out of this? And he's like, look, I have a book about, situations where this happened. Could you go grab it? It's on the top shelf. She's walked over. She's gone, I can't reach it. There's absolutely no way I could ever get this book down. And the lawyer's gone,
light bulb moment.
Shut up right now. I know what we have to do.
Oh, God. I love it.
What else? Is there anything else from that? It was also alleged that Miss Barber told the boy she was pregnant.
No, but it says teacher said she'd bring the teen down with her. You already done that.
Well, she brought him down somewhere. She said that if I was going to
gently eat her out.
Yeah, she said that if I was going to snake on her, basically, she was going to bring me down with her. I was like,
This
Are you
is
going
just
to
textbook pedophilia. It is textbook.
Yeah, but
Just ticking off the box.
I've never heard. I really feel for the male pedophile in this situation because they've never been given the opportunity to stand there and say, "Look, do you see how short I am?" There's no way.
It only makes sense.
There's no way I could have done that.
Oh, that is sick. That is sick.
It's awful.
But it's also, that is fairly newsworthy, though. That's not...
That is newsworthy. I'm glad we got to shed some light on it.
horrible.
Speaking of news,
I've got
yeah,
something a bit lighter.
okay.
Okay, not a sexual assault case.
Something lighter than a 5-foot woman.
No, you know what I meant. That was horrific.
It was awful.
That was really bad.
And
I was laughing the whole time.
I'm not laughing at the crime. I'm laughing at the fucking excuse.
It's a terrible excuse. Furious parents demand a $100 refund from a monster creature event that was advertised as a jungle experience but turned out to be a shed with a couple of pot plants. So parents are demanding refunds after a fun park didn't live up to the picture. So you can see the picture. There's a giant tarantula.
We'll put photos up here.
Okay, well, there's a giant tarantula, right? Where are you putting it?
Yeah, I'll put it over you.
Okay, yeah, over my face. All right.
Yeah.
Give the viewers a break. No. So there's this huge, they marketed it with this huge tarantula, right? They'll come in, there's these massive, little, I don't know what you'd call it, but where this was taken was actually in the UK.
Yeah.
So they've completely stolen from another zoo that they have in the park, photoshopped like some Aussie kids in the front to make it look, real. Yeah. Real. And said, okay, $100 and come with it. Whereas, realistically, you were just going to visit someone's garden.
So when you went inside...
These are hundreds of kids paying $100 a pop. This is a lot of money.
Expecting to see a big old tarantula.
Yeah.
And they're greeted with, these are my chrysanthemums.
They've just got like a little lesson on Aussie bushes.
If you guys know what a petunia is, you'll understand that's them over there. But if you don't know what a petunia is now, this will be new to you. They're all sitting there like, yeah, where's the tarantula? We'll get there.
It's right at the end. No, so the park advertised like giant creepy crawlies. So there was also like wasps and other cockroaches and stuff like that.
Yeah,
other little pots. But none of them were from the actual location. None of them. It is all stolen, and they've come out of it, looking very good. And then the mother who had a problem with it, we'll get a photo of her. Yeah, mother of what? I assume of 5. And she goes, oh no, mother of 3. Mother of 3. Danny Wilson spent more than $100 and drove an hour to the park. So not even convenient. And she goes, I labelled it a waste of my time. Which I'm sure it was.
I'm just surprised that she decided to take a bunch of kids to a garden exhibit.
It's not supposed to be a garden exhibit. Look how... That is cool.
Yeah,
if that's what you were expecting to go see, there's it's art. But it's basically art.
Was this person's garden they rocked up? Was it just someone's backyard, or was it it's like a field, like someone who owns like a country property and there's a field, or they've just walked in and it's just Gary standing in front of the shed.
Quite literally.
You guys here say tarantula? He's out the back.
Sorry, that's just a daddy long legs, and that's not even yet.
No, it's like one of those
to scale.
The people have like their bathrooms right at the back door, and it's just like popping out through the window. Shed's that way. If you've gone to the sunflowers, you've gone too far. Push back towards the shed. You just get them to do chores and clean out his shed. Yeah, so the tarantulas are under the tools. Just hang those up for me.
I'm gonna say something devastating.
Oh God, do I have to censor this as well?
No. One father said he was disappointed by the anticlimactic attraction, while another man said he was looking forward to it for a week.
That's sadder than the fact that it wasn't an actual tarantula farm.
You got to feel for these people around the world. Sometimes I go, God, my life is pretty good, in comparison to some people.
Yeah.
But far out, these dads who've rocked up, driven an hour to go see big creepy crawlies.
You plan a custody day and you look forward to it for the week. And you think maybe this will win me back some brownie points.
It's like, Dad, if there's a massive tarantula there, I literally will accept you as being my dad again after you cheated on Mum.
I'm going to start calling you Dad again, I swear.
I swear.
They get dropped off back to Mum. Dad took us to a fucking shed.
Never delivering on promises. Never delivering.
It's not my fault. In the photo.
It's never your fault, Stephen. It's never your fault.
Speaking of putting the blame on people, a fun little news story.
I love the segues, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Love them.
Thank you. Appreciate that. This also comes from news.com.au from our cousins out west from Western Australia.
Okay.
WA Premier claims homeless people were lured to tent city with attractive ham. Attractive hams in quotations. So a state premier has made a stunning claim that
As in the meat?
I'll explain. That professional protesters are using ham to lure vulnerable homeless people to a tent city. So essentially what's happening is these people are luring essentially homeless people in Perth. I assume they've got it connected to a fishing rod, like a whole leg of ham. It's an attractive ham. They're just reeling it. And the best part is the WA Premier, Mark McGowan, he said these people already have accommodation. So they're just being moved to these little tent... It's a tent city. It's just 5 tents in a park.
Who's luring them? The government?
It's a group called Members of Extinction Rebellion had been exploiting vulnerable people, encouraging
Extinction Rebellion. Yeah. So the mates of...
I have no idea what they are.
It just... Extinction Rebellion using meat as a lure just sounds a bit contradictory, doesn't it?
It does sound scary. Like,
Not scary. It sounds like a direct contradiction.
Are they rebelling against extinction?
Well, yeah, I suppose. They're chopping up.
I suppose everyone's rebelling against extinction. No one wants to go extinct.
Oh, go on, because I'm so confused. I don't know why they're doing it.
So many of these people already have accommodation. They have services available, and the professional protesters that organise it are often people from organisations like Extinction Rebellion, basically anarchists. And so they're moving these people out of housing by like putting on like lunches in the park with attractive hams, and then just
what makes an attractive ham?
And then they're just keeping them at the park. It's called a tent city. It's just a bunch of Kmart tents.
Feeling like it's like another bloody, another really dodgy article. Except this time it's about somebody who's like a fetish for homeless people and ham.
If Mark McGowan, the WA Premier, who seems like a fairly reasonable dude, is getting involved, this is actually
wears a blue tie.
This is actually happening.
Very reasonable.
So yes, homelessness organisations Freo Street Kitchen and House the Homeless WA announced they'd begin giving out free meals in Pioneer Park during the holiday period. Since then, more than 100 people have begun living in tents in the area. But the way that's phrased, it's like they're luring them out. I don't know who's in the wrong. I mean, they're getting a ham.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very confused at what's going on here, but it sounds positive. At the end, it does sound positive.
I mean, I live in a house, quite a comfy bed.
Really?
But if somebody... If there was if someone said there was an attractive ham in the park...
But what makes it attractive?
Find me on the swings.
Is it just because it's fresh?
I have no idea.
Find me on the swings.
But that's a little bit of that.
That's a shocker.
I'll keep talking about this till you can think of a segue. So hams and homeless people and Mark McGowan's getting involved.
Oh, talking about attractive hams.
He's done it again. He's done it.
Dinosaur genitals. It's pretty good as well. This is actually a good little tie-in. Dinosaur genitals are reconstructed for the first time. I wonder what, scientist was a bit too obsessed with that. Revealing that they likely used their colourful openings to attract mates before rubbing them together, like modern crocodiles.
Rubbing them together sounds like the people from the Avatar movie when their little tails intertwine.
Oh, yeah?
So they're opening.
To me, it sounds like, that In-Betweeners episode where Will is having sex with Charlotte and he doesn't actually put it in. He just sort of rubs up against her.
I'm also going to turn this light back on because it's just turned off. Welcome to the Remember That episode from In-Betweeners podcast.
No, I'll do it once. But that is true. That's what it sounds like. But the thing is that I think that... So they're called colloquial. The colloquial region.
Okay.
That's like the dinosaur version of our penis.
Okay.
Our vaginas.
Absolutely. Yeah. That sounds accurate to me. To keep them entertained, I'm just
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll just read a little bit of this article. Dinosaurs had colourful genitals that they likely used to attract mates before rubbing their ovums together, having sex just like modern crocodiles. The study has shown that experts from the UK and US reconstructed their nether regions of the Pisacosaurus, a Labrador dog-sized dinosaur from around 145 million years ago.
I mean, modern science has come so far, but you just know next time there's a Boxing Day sale on lovehoney.com, there's going to be a whole category dedicated to dinosaur dildos. It's going to happen. They've already got like Shrek and the Incredible Hulk. Yeah. There's tentacles. I mean,
but that's the thing.
Dinosaurs is a step back, if anything.
I don't know if they have... I don't think it's about penetration. So I've read the article... And they've all just got openings.
Dinosaur penises. It's not about penetration.
But they don't have these, protruding things. It's more these like flaps that sort of open, really colourful, and they evacuate both ends out of there as well.
Great.
And so it's really quite disgusting. But there's no. It's just they share the juices. It's like the goannas whose neck frills out, except...
A frill neck lizard?
Yeah, but except,
Instead of a face.
Down at the nether region.
I'm just excited to see Brazzers take that on.
But why, reconstructing genitals?
A thing I've never heard of before.
That sounds really quite creepy, to be honest.
Speaking of things that have people divided...
What are you going to start doing? Speaking of things...
Woman's shower habit ignites online debate. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this one.
No, I want to spend the rest of the episode.
This is like... what was her face from last week? Her ham and...
Demi...
it wasn't Demi.
Oh, no, it wasn't Demi.
We're not going to sit here and try to remember her name, but...
Lacey Lussick.
Lacey Lussick, yeah, that's the one.
Lacey.
Who had her ham and cheese toasty.
No, that was Belinda Russell, actually.
Belinda Russell, how can we forget?
Come on.
How do you shower? A Twitter user has divided the internet, the entire internet. Not just the 14 people who follow her, the entire internet.
No, including me as well.
After she revealed how she takes a shower, asking if her way is normal.
Is she filming herself doing this? Is that why she's like,
absolutely.
Oh, it's really because of what I'm talking about, not the fact that I'm naked and filming myself.
Yeah, she's live streaming it.
Okay.
Taking to social media platform, Alice, who goes by the Twitter handle Back Pain and Wine.
What?
Back Pain and Wine.
Yeah, I actually like that.
Asked her followers, help me settle a debate. It's normal to shower with your back to the shower, right? Not facing the water, she asked. Her question immediately sparked a heated discussion with thousands of people weighing in.
Heated?
I'm sure it got racist. Well, obviously you shower facing it. Oh, of course your people would say that.
Oh, God.
Delved into that one. How do you shower?
Whatever I'm feeling that day. But I have one of those...
Leaned up against the wall, crying.
Yeah, it's depending on my mood.
Fully clothed.
Yeah, sometimes, I'm blaring tunes. Sometimes I'm just pondering life and going, do I really want to do it? No, but I have one of those detachable, shower heads. So,
right.
I can, chuck it anywhere I really want.
Oh, absolutely.
Not to get too visual about it.
Oh, get as visual as you like.
If I was a dinosaur, I'd be, fucking... That's what I'm saying. But I much prefer, I'll head in face first, then I'll turn my bag and
I just have it hitting the back of my neck and going down. I don't I'll get it all over. I'll get wet all over.
Yeah.
There's no way to say this that doesn't sound weird.
No.
I'm going to let it hit my face first.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it's going to get in my hair.
Yeah. Seep into
eyes,
the crack.
mouth. But basically, I just let it hit my back.
You don't even wash your face?
I don't wash. I stand there completely still. I haven't washed in years. I shower like the guy from American Psycho. I just stand there.
Playing, classic 80s hits.
Huey Lewis in the village. But yeah, that's the whole... I'll give you a couple of responses people had.
Yes, please, because there's heaps of tweets.
I'll give you the most hateful ones.
Yeah, no, go on.
Anyone not doing full 180/360 is surely not having a proper shower. What's a 180/360? Is he breakdancing in the shower?
I don't know. I think he just means, rotation, or you could just do a little spin, keeping your eyes so you don't get dizzy.
Well, Michelle 4 Angel, I don't know if she's 4 Angels or if it's Michelle number 4 Angel. Regardless, she goes, I'm weird. We can tell that from her blue hair in the profile picture.
Oh, okay.
Didn't need her to say it. I'm weird.
No offence to anyone with dark hair.
Yeah, absolute offence to anyone with coloured hair.
If you own wacky socks, look at yourself.
No, if you own wacky socks, you're a comedic genius.
No, you're not.
I'm weird as I face the shower, but don't ever put my face under the water. I'm usually wearing makeup at the time, so I just angle the head down. I get cold if I'm not facing the water. So she just never takes her makeup off. She just continues to shower.
That's really bad for your skin.
Yeah. Someone,
I would know.
sad as I am, I just text my friend and asked her what she and her OH do. Is that like a partner or something? If anyone,
other husband,
yeah. What her and her other husband do. She is back to the shower. He faces the shower. Is this?
This is a whole different story.
Is that the same time? She faces the shower, so they're just like in.
Are they back to back? Did she say?
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Showering.
Don't look at me.
Showering back to.
Well, you need to hit it there. One would have to squish up against the wall, depending on where it is, unless it's like a rain shower.
After a passionate night of lovemaking, I want to go take a shower together. Yeah, of course.
Come on. Don't fucking look at me, though.
You got to watch it. What are you doing? Turn around.
Do your own thing.
I want our cheeks pressed up against each other, and that's it.
I'm really here because I don't want to waste water. Two of us have a thing. Just don't look at me when you do it.
Oh, there you go.
You have to have good backs, though. Imagine if you had big asses, it'd be really hard. But if you're a bit flat, it'd be a bit easier, I guess.
This must be the teacher from the first one. Facing the water as have to bend forwards to be under the water. Back to the shower probably only works for shorter people.
Okay, so he's fanned you out. He's got you there.
Yeah, he's got me.
Yeah,
I'm
just have to bend forwards under the water.
It's awful English. It's got one like though, so it's definitely worthy of being within a news story.
But he's probably unfortunately not got an adjustable shower head, so he can't put it up. It looks like he's just trapped. It's like one height for all.
He probably doesn't have a lot going for him if he's spending a lot of time on Twitter replying to which way do you face in the shower?
We must do it though.
I like to just sit cross-legged at the bottom of the shower.
But that is a treat though.
Not even under the water. I just like to watch the water. Completely nude, sit in the corner in the coldest part of the shower. Watch the water. No, it's good. Watch the water fall down.
That's really good, mate.
And then I turn it off and I get out.
You're a happy guy? You're really happy at the moment? Weird. All right, female tradie unleashes
Good segue.
No, there's not supposed to be. Female tradie.
Have you not seen Peter Overton? His segues are as smooth as his ass.
Apparently, Peter's a good showerer. Female tradie unleashes a flurry of punches on another woman after the pair exchanged words. Exchanged words are being lied about it.
Yeah.
Fucked each other up in a bottle shop and a threat about her glasses.
If there's one thing you don't talk about with a female tradie, it's her glasses.
The funniest part, this is like proper, a fight, assault has occurred, probably GBH. Okay, and all they really are focusing on was the threat made against her glasses.
Well, it's important. It's important to note that there was a threat made against her glasses.
The court heard the two women engaged in a heated verbal exchange before the victim threatened to smash Preston's glasses. Oh. And that's when it crossed the line.
Yeah.
Okay, she'd punched her in the face a couple times.
Threatened her family.
Said, I'm going to kill both your children.
Made numerous homophobic remarks. She's not even homosexual, but she just threw that in purely to offend anyone who might be homosexual in the bottle shop. She then went on to pronounce that, you know what? Hitler had some good points. And then they got to the point where, hey, you just talked about killing a kid.
True.
We're both going down.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
But then she crossed the line.
No, she said, your glasses are pretty ordinary. Don't say that!
She wasn't even salty. It was like, your glasses are falling off. What the fuck do you say?
I love something like this.
Yeah.
Morgan Harris, Preston's lawyer, Preston's lawyer,
Yeah.
described the assault as the pinnacle of a dispute between two parties.
The pinnacle of a dispute?
Mm.
As in, like, that's the worst it could get?
Yeah. As in, there's a moment, we know pinnacle, all right? We're reaching the precipice, okay, right when it gets at its worst.
The precipice is the edge.
Yeah, and there's all that, Hitler's, is it?
Yeah, the precipice is like the precipice of...
Oh, well, I'm talking about the edge then. We're reaching the precipice.
I think it's a climax.
Okay, grammar. That wasn't grammar, that's just knowledge of
I like that we
words.
pull ourselves up on the difference between precipice and climax, but we're just like, jokes about Hitler?
Well, yeah, that's
carry on.
But that's what I'm
Play
saying.
on.
In this pyramid,
Yeah.
chuck in. No, you chuck in the Hitler jokes,
Yeah.
Put everything in here,
That's fine.
Dead children jokes. Gets up to the top. Right at the top here, your glasses are shit. That's
how we draw the line.
Well, a court case came out of it after that.
Really?
Yeah, this is, terrible stuff.
Oh,
Right, segue me.
terrible stuff.
I struggled with that one.
We were talking about building yourselves up. Let's talk about putting someone down
Okay, yeah.
underneath the water. This is my favourite story. I want to hold this one to the end. Maths teacher who dunked pupil's head underwater 3 times after losing his temper when he was deliberately pushed off paddleboard at outdoor activity centre avoids classroom ban.
That is so good.
There's a couple of notes taken. This Matthew de Villiers was found guilty of unacceptable professional conduct. It is, yeah. Group of pupils tipped him off his board after being challenged by an instructor.
He's just a teacher.
Which just means the instructor is just some 22-year-old bloke who teaches paddleboard. He's like, oi, you should go knock your teacher off his paddleboard. It'd be funny.
What's the accent you do?
Russian.
Okay.
Ex-teacher who was dismissed after incident in 2018 was spared a teaching ban. Education bosses ruled...
How kind of them.
Oh, yeah, of course. Ruled that the publicity alone would be sufficient punishment. So he was on they were on Duke of Edinburgh.
Honestly, I was going to be like, this definitely isn't like A-stream maths or something. This is going to be,
No, they're on a Duke of Edinburgh award scheme activity.
Okay.
And
mix of students.
At first regarded what happened as horseplay, a group of pupils, including the one whose head was pushed under the water 3 times, approached him by Mr. De Villiers, approached him after being challenged by an instructor to see if they could tip him off the board, which is hilarious to think that he's just going, tip him off. Tip him off. It'll be funny. They tip him off the board, and this teacher's just going, fuck, 1, 2, 3.
At breaking point. Absolutely breaking point. Sir! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. He's like, no, this is the last bloody straw. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. She's like, no, you made me do it. I don't believe you, you piece of shit. And then he's just holding him underneath the water. He's like, I'm done with you. I'm telling you, Miss Matthews.
All right, guys. Number off. Make sure we've got everyone. 1, 2, 3. Who's 4?
It's 4 here. And just one more time for good luck. Oh, I love that.
It's great. So
I
don't believe he's teaching anymore, but he hasn't been banned from teaching.
Yeah, which is weird. It's just like, just escaped a classroom ban. That sounds like a punishment for a kid.
The education secretary...
I'll send you outside if you drown any more students. Okay, Mr. De Villiers, I'm going to send you outside.
Did he make it back to shore? Yes, his lungs were full of water. But did he make it back to shore? He did. The current pushed his lifeless body back into shore. We were able to get him.
He was purple.
Okay. Imagine that happened. They're like, well, technically, to the student, you didn't paddleboard the required 2 kilometres, so we can't say that you've gotten your silver for Duke of Edinburgh. So you're gonna have to go back and do it next week. Since everyone else has done it, it's just gonna be you and Mr. De Villiers. He's gonna be super. It's just you two. Paddleboarding out.
He's just like going like, thanks.
Finish the job.
Yeah, you've been waiting for this.
But the education...
2 knives.
This is the best one. Miss Buxy, why do you have 2 knives on the water?
Oh, he's going to finish the job. That's
fair enough. Miss Buxy, for the education secretary, said Mr. De Villiers was under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I assume
the child would have been under a lot of pressure. the amount of water being pushed into his ears as he was sunk deeper below the depths, the water pressure would have been also quite...
No, I know we like to make jokes here, though, Lachlan.
We do. We do love a little... We do love a little tickle, little joke.
Don't you fucking touch me. We do understand how a teacher could get to that point, because kids probably... A lot of them are shit.
Let's be real, that kid's probably a little shit.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
It's not like this is the... I'd be very surprised if this is the first time they pushed him off the paddleboard.
I love how I've just made an excuse for a teacher who tried to genuinely drown a child. I was about to defend him on a bit. I was like, oh, kids have been kids, they can really get under your skin, I can understand.
Sometimes you gotta make an example of them. Drown him.
But I don't even feel that kind of rage towards anyone. Like, even if somebody really pissed me off, I don't go.
You wouldn't drown someone?
No. I'd like to think I wouldn't.
Morning, I got murder on my mind.
Yeah, I do pump a bit of YNW Melly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll just read that the way that they defended him. His actions were not, therefore, premeditated, and the panel's observation was that the nature and severity of the behaviour were at the less serious end of the possible spectrum. So, he didn't go into the excursion planning on dunking a kid's head underwater.
No.
He didn't plan on it, so it's all right. Look, we went for a hike. I didn't plan on pushing a kid off the cliff. It just kind of happened in the moment. Having considered the mitigating factors that were present, the panel...
But did it say he was on the spectrum, the kid?
No, they said the severity of the behaviour were at the less serious end of the possible spectrum.
Oh, okay. There's he didn't say anything bad to him.
No. Yeah, it would have been weird if the teacher swam over to a kid and just ducked for no reason.
Yeah.
Having considered the mitigating factors that were present, the panel determined that a recommendation for a prohibition order would not be appropriate. For these reasons, I've concluded that a prohibition order is not proportionate and not in the public interest in this case. And then, as the Daily Mail does, they always have a little question after the end of every story. When do you visit fast food restaurants most often? I'm going to say in the cooler months. Do you have children? If so, how old? This is a survey.
There's multiple questions. You don't know what you're committed to.
Do you want to finish off with a little short story, or is that all you got?
Short story.
Yeah.
Like another one?
Or a little joke?
No, I want to finish on that. Unless you want me to talk about, and we can cut this if you don't want me to, but that Byron story is pretty insane. And it's just
We're absolutely not going to talk about that.
Okay.
We'll wait till that comes out of the news and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, when everybody's jaws are fixed.
Yeah. When the person who was involved is actually able to speak.
Yeah.
Would be a good one.
What I reckon we should end on is we just high five cut.
Okay, well, I feel like this has been a pretty make or break episode. We've discussed a lot of things that could possibly make us both lose our jobs.
Yeah, well, you started with
sexual assault. But like we said, we're saying that's terrible.
I finished with
We're saying with the excuse of being too short for sexual assault,
Oh, God. It was so intense. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, so take all...
Shout out, Mum.
No, I'm not going to shout mine out.
Yeah, don't have a good relationship.